Hello everybody to this week of the Bottom Split Racing Series presented by Stadium Scene TV. Tonight is the finale here in Phoenix, Arizona. We have a good one for you tonight. Let's get into Phoenix real quick. Phoenix is in Avondale, Arizona. It opened in 1964. It is 1.202 miles in length. 11 degrees of banking in the turns and 11 degrees of banking on the dog leg. Tonight's rules is a 20-minute practice session with a 2-lap qualification and a 50-lap race. Now we have some cool storylines going into tonight as we have the driver points for tonight. Christopher Hughes leads the way, and since it's the finale, all Chris has to do is take the green flag and he will clinch the championship. But the battle rages on for position number 2 and number 3 as JP Jones and Robert Lewis are tied, so it's going to be really interesting to watch their battle go throughout the night. Garrett Jarnagin sitting 4th at the moment, but only 2 points behind your top 3, or your and he's looking to get onto that top podium spot, but it is going to be really close all night. Then from 5th on back, we have John Miles, John Jarvis, Eduardo Martinez, Jacob Barker, DJ Fluck, Connor Fuge, Mark Vickers, Lane Snow, Jax Milan, Harrison Santos, Josh Schwanger, Eric Richardson, Scott Rolls, and Jeremy Clemens. Practice is just about to wrap up now, but real quick, let's get into a very good thing. This September, Stadium Scene TV proudly presents Streamers Against Suicide 2025, supporting the American Foundation for Suicide Prevention. Every donation helps bring hope, resources, and support to those who need it most. Our goal is to raise $500 throughout the month, and you can make an impact by scanning the QR code during our broadcasts or clicking the link in the description. Together, we can save lives through the month of September. Remember, if you are in crisis, you can always dial the National Suicide Prevention Lifeline by dialing 988 or text TALK to 741-741. Let's head back out on to the racetrack here as these drivers are getting into their qualifying runs. Scott Rolls rolling off in the British machine. Your points leader, Christopher Hughes, looking to restart his qualifying run. Now, the amazing thing about Phoenix is this dog leg that you will see. I would assume you'd see Chris taking. There he goes as he cuts the dog leg there. Going way down by the wall. Using as much of the racetrack as he possibly can. The infamous IndyCar line being run in a ARCA stock car. Love to see it. That line helped me get the pole here back in the Indy Racing World Series, which, by the way, the Indy Racing World I guess he had enough. I guess he got his lap and had enough there. Let's see. Looks like nobody's on the track as of right now. JP Jones might be on the track. Oh, there he is. In the Appalachian Chillbilly machine. But remember, Christopher Hughes may have wrecked in qualifying, but all he needs to do is start the race and he will be the champion. So but as I was saying, the Indy Racing World Series and Wednesday Night Dash tonight, a triple header. We've got the Indy Racing World Series going to Las Vegas tomorrow at 10 p.m. And on Wednesday night, we have the Xfinity cars going to the Charlotte Roval. I should be in attendance for both of those races, so make sure you come stop on by. We've got a minute and 30 left in the qualifying session right now. So while we are waiting, let's take a look at your starting grid here for tonight. All right, rolling off on the pole for tonight is Jacob Barker in that number 2 machine. Then on his outside is Garrett Jarnagin. Then Scott rolls all the way from the United Kingdom, starting 3rd, and John Miles starting 4th. Robert Lewis heads off 5th, and JP Jones heads off 6th. Eduardo Martinez rolls off 7th, and DJ Fluck rolls off 8th. Then we have Connor Fuge rolling off 9th, and then your inaugural season champion, Christopher Fuge, starting in 10th. Then you have John Jarvis and Harrison Santos rounding out your field. So let's get into the motions as the final race of this inaugural season is about to get underway. I must say, this has been quite a fascinating season. We've had all kinds of races. We've had big accidents. We've had good racing all through 2-3 wide racing all through the field. Every single race this season. As your points leader heads onto the track, the Ford Mustang pace car looking to take the field to the green one last time. 50 laps here, so a bit of a longer race. As your Ford Mustang pace car rolls off. With Scott rolls starting position number 3. I believe this goes green pretty quickly, so we are going to make sure to give you as much of the coverage as we possibly can. They're under the control of Jacob Barker in that number 2 machine. Let's get a wide blimp angle. I want to see the fanning down to the dogleg as they round turn number 4 to the restart zone.
Green flag.
And green flag is out here at Phoenix. There they go down to the bottom, 4 or 5 wide. Let's see if they can all keep it together. But Jacob Barker gets out cleanly, and Garrett Jarnagin right there in P2. Here comes Scott Rolls, though, looking on the inside of Garrett Jarnagin. Oh, we've got a wreck in the back. 4 or 5 cars. The 19 of Connor Fuge, Harrison Santos, Eduardo, John Jarvis all collected. A lap 1 incident. Let's go back and see what happened. Looks like Connor looking underneath. Oh, Eduardo just getting loose. He shoots up the track. Almost collects your points leader, but that takes out the bottom 4. Man, unfortunate. So early in the race. Didn't even be able to complete 1 lap there. But Garrett Jarnagin setting the fastest lap in the Big Dapper machine. Got to battle a bit back. JP Jones looking underneath of John Miles right now. He's going to get that spot cleared for position 4, but John Miles is going to fight right back. John Miles is going to have the run. He's going to take the dog leg. He's going to shoot back, and he's going to be well cleared on his way. Remember, the battle is between Robert Lewis and JP Jones for position number 2, and right now they are neck and neck. But the biggest winner at the moment is Garrett Jarnagin running second. If Garrett can win this race, he can leapfrog both of them, and he can sneak and take that silver medal. Big Deborah can come in and eat that silver medal like it was a Willy Wonka chocolate bar. Garrett looks fast right now, keeping the pressure on Barker in that number 2 machine. Barker going to go down to the bottom. Garrett going to stay up a little high. Now this is also a race about saving your tires. Hitting that dog leg every single lap is going to burn your tires off. Well, there's Eduardo with a struggling race car, but the leaders are able to get by cleanly. JP looking to get through. Robert looking to get through. And your points leader, Chris Fuge, looking to get through as well. Get back up front. The gap has increased just a tiny bit between your top 2, but Garrett's still looking hungry. JP Jones on the move. Hunting down John Miles once again. JP Jones to the bumper of John Miles. Can he make something happen? Oh, Connor Fuge. Looks like he got his car repaired, but then got into the wall again. All of our drivers. Rocket through the dog leg. We are 12 laps completed here in Phoenix. That last time by, John Miles was quicker than Scott Rolls in the 8. John Miles starting to turn up the heat. And look who's kind of fallen off. That's Garrett Jarnagin in the 32. Both the 8 and the 54 have caught up to the 32 of Garrett Jarnagin. Best skirmish on track right now, as the 8's going to let the 54 by on the outside. John Miles taking the long way around here to get this move done. Oh, Scott Rolls Sliding up, pulling the slider on John, but now John's going to have that preferred inside groove as they're starting to catch up to the slower car of John Jarvis. Jarvis pull up the stats as John Miles is going to get past, not quite, still neck and neck. Scott rolls way up high. He's going to have a huge run as they head on to the straightaway here. John Miles into the wall. Scott on the inside. Scott down low. John with the crossover. Coming to the line. Scott way down low on the apron. And it looks like John is going to have that move clean and cleared. Oh, JP! JP gets into the wall a bit, and there goes Robert Lewis. The fight for position. Oh! JP almost takes out your points leader by just a little bit there. But JP looks like he has bad damage. That left front tire is not spinning at all. JP gonna have to take an unwanted trip to pit lane. So Robert Lewis up into 5th. Let's see here. Christopher Fuge starting to figure something out. Chris is looking really quick. Chris 4/10 faster than Robert Lewis in the 0-1 there that last time by. Your points leader coming alive as we're about halfway through this race. Looking back up front now, the 54 and the 8 of Scott Rolls have caught back up to Garrett Jarnagin in the 32. And Garrett's not so safe anymore. Well, look, your leader, Jacob Barker, is only 0.6 of a second up. So if John Miles has the speed in that Chevy that it looks like he does, he might be able to crawl his way up to the lead. John Miles to the bumper of the 32. John's going to back his corner off just a bit. That's going to give him a huge run as they come off the corner. Getting to the line. Garrett Jarnagin going to go down low. But John is there, side by side as they head into turn 3. John rolling that top line. I believe he's going to have the momentum as they head on the backstretch. And move John Miles up to position number 2. As we are 3 laps away from halfway here. Looks like Garrett's able to roll through turn 3 a bit better than John, but it looks like John might be getting him back in turns 1 and 2. Garrett way out of the racing groove there. Trying to find any little bit of speed. Looks like Scott Rolls might be slightly reeling in the 32 as well. As of right now, John Miles is the fastest car on the racetrack. The last time by, he ran a 27.4, and your leader Jacob ARCA ran a 27.5. You can take a look at the last lap times there on the ticker and see who's got speed where. Take a look at Scott Rolls now, beginning to put the pressure on Garrett Jarnagin. Can Garrett Jarnagin hold on to that final podium spot? And don't look now, but John Miles is to the back bumper of your leader, Jacob ARCA. The first sort of contention from Jacob ARCA all day. John Miles turning up the heat when it matters most. Back at our battle between the 32 and the number 8, as the drivers just completed lap number 32. Lap number 32 for the 32. Scott Rolls all over the bumper of Garrett Jarnagin as they roll through turn 3. What can Scott do? They both dive onto the dog leg, but Scott dives deeper. He's going to be there to his inside as they go through turn 1. Scott taking a higher line through turn 1. Garrett Jarnagin taking the more conservative middle line. As we have a change for the lead. John Miles dives down to the inside over Jacob ARCA in the 2, and John Miles is going to clear himself to the lead, but here comes ARCA to the inside for the crossover move. Side by side. ARCA setting in a little deep. John backing up his corner just a little bit. They're going to have the run there. 35 laps complete, just 15 laps to go. Jacob Barker able to take the spot back momentarily, but John Miles rolling that top side. The faster line around here. They're going to be neck and neck down the straightaway once again. John's going to have the move cleared for now. But can Barker fight back? But John Miles clear of the two. And that Cabela's Bass Pro Shop 54 to the point once again. Your battle between the 32 and the 8 is still just getting spicier. Scott figuring out where he can break. Scott way up high. Try to get a rocket launch here. As Garrett Jarnagin now beginning to reel in the number 2 of Jacob Barker. "38 laps complete. On to lap number 39. All these drivers in a single file line as of right now. As they have the 87, the lap car of the 87 of John Jarvis just ahead. But here comes Garrett Jarnagin. The 87 pulling way to the inside, trying not to be an issue for these drivers. Oh, here comes Scott. They're almost 3 wide there. Scott rolls back in the mix just that easy. Garrett Jarnagin peeking a nose under the 2 of Jacob Barker. Lap 41 complete. Just 9 laps to go. 8 laps to go here. The intensity is picking up. Scott looking to take both of these positions. Jacob looking to hold off 2 hungry drivers. One of them looking for their mid-supper snack. The other one looking for tea time. Scott rolls. Goes way high. Gets right to the bumper. Jarnagin's going to have the run here. He looks to the inside. Scott looks to the outside. Jarnagin way down low. Going as low as he possibly can without hitting the wall. He's going to come back with the nose under the number 2. Garrett Jarnagin, Jacob Barker side by side. Scott rolls just looking to find a hole. Where can he go? Intense battles here as this race winds down. As we have 6 laps to go. 6 laps to go here at Phoenix for the finale. Jacob Barker goes high. He's going to give the run to the 32. He gets a little lower than he usually does. He gets under that paint a bit. Scott looking to use his bumper just a tiny bit. 5 laps to go here. Garrett Jarnagin looks to the outside this time. He's going to get a huge run here. As they go on to the backstretch once again. 2:32, number 8. As they run 4 laps to go. What can Jarnagin do? Jarnagin stays above the yellow line. Is that the move? Jarnagin to the inside of the 2. He's at his door. They're going to be door to door. Here comes Scott to the outside of Jarnagin. He's going to get that move complete. Scott rolls to that 3rd place point. Out of nowhere, he got a perfect turn 3 with just 3 laps to go. Can Scott get the silver medal? Beautiful move there by the British man. He is figuring this stuff out. Quickly, 2 laps to go. Does he have anything left in the tank? And does Garrett Jarnagin have anything to fight back? Now is the time. The gloves are off. Garrett needs every position he can to try and get up into the top 3 in the points. Scott looking to make a name. Garrett to the inside. Coming to the white flag here. Garrett all the way down to the bottom. Garrett has the move cleared right now. Garrett back to that 3rd place position. But Scott's going to have a run here. Scott looks to the top. Is he going to make the move to the bottom? And Garrett Jarnagin is going to come home a 3rd. But a great move by John Miles. John Miles is going to take the victory on in the finale at Phoenix. Beautiful run by John Miles. Beautiful run by Jacob, holding off the pack of wolves of Garrett and Scott. Garrett and Scott putting on an absolute clinic there at the end of the race. Holy cow. I don't think it could get much better. I don't think it could get much better. Where is John Miles? Let me pull him up here. There he is. Is John in the Discord? Maybe I'll jump up here, but I want to... Alright, I'm joined here with Garrett Jarnagin in the 32. Had an epic battle with Scott in the 8 all race and is able to come home 3rd. What do you have to say about that amazing drive?
Oh, it's fun. I kept telling Scott he's got to pass me on the outside at least once. So he did, and then I had to pass him back. But it was fun.
Putting on
confirm that as a quote.
Putting on an absolute show there. And then we have Jacob Barker, who came home 2nd today. Jacob Barker came home 2nd. He led most of the race, but got past there at the end, but was able to hold off the 32 and the 8, even though it looked like it was under threat. Jacob, how did it feel out there?
It was fun, you know. It just getting the opportunity to even have a 2nd place finish is, you know, it's a great opportunity with all these guys at BR and SMR. It's really fun, and have a first podium. Really, it's really cool, and even you know, it's just it means a lot. And great job to John as well. Race me clean, race me fair, and it was fun.
Alrighty, and the man who stunk up the show tonight, John Miles, started about mid-pack but fought all the way to the front and was able to park that thing in victory lane. John, tell me about your race.
Yeah, overall it was kind of concerning at the start of the race. We didn't qualify very well in the Bass Pro Shop Chevrolet, but overall, once we got a little bit more track position, I kind of settled in. 'Cause at first I thought I was kind of burning them up just a little bit, but then it's a 50-lap race at Phoenix, and so I wanted to make sure I got in a rhythm and stayed in that rhythm. And overall, it was some pretty good, clean, short track racing, I'd say, for the most part. congrats to Fuge. Chris Fuge, by the way, though, just awesome championship race altogether for him. A little bummed out I missed the Glen, so I was hoping to have a little bit more of a battle with him for the championship, but maybe next year. But yeah, still congrats to him and all of SMR and putting together a good season.
Alrighty. Well, that was your winner, John Miles, and your season champion for the inaugural Season 1 of the Bottom Split Racing Series is Christopher Fuge. Chris, you come home 6th tonight, but you probably put on one of the most clean and consistent seasons. Just give me a recap about the whole thing.
Yeah, I put in like no practice this week, like an idiot. Just between race control deals on Sunday night and being out of town over the weekend. I put in no practice, so I spun myself out in qualifying, shot myself in the foot, and I did the math maybe 5-6 times just to make sure like all I had to do was start. So once I realized all I really had to do was to win the championship was start the race, I was like, all right, cool deal. Qualifying kind of hurt. Like starting in the back, but just happy to bring it home. I mean, consistency is key in this kind of stuff, and I felt really consistent all season. Big thanks to my teammates, Colton, JP, Garrett, Jacob, Scott, Braden, my brother Connor. Just, it's nice to have a good support system. Thanks to my sponsors, Spartan, Sim Racing Graphics, Underdog Athletics, Hands On, Children Museum, the whole lot of them. Congratulations to John for winning the race. Kind of bummed that our dueling burnout didn't go to plan. The cars kept kind of just bouncing off each other. I don't know if that's an iRacing thing or what, but tried to make a cool little look for you guys, and it didn't quite work, but he understood what I was going for, so pretty happy.
Yeah, it's all right. But hats off to you guys for the whole season, putting on a good show, and I'm excited to have been up in the booth for it all.
Thanks, Hunter. Thanks for broadcasting this for us and the work you guys did. Thanks to DJ and Eric for giving us a place to race on Monday nights. It's always fun to run with these guys, and they do their best to let us put on a good show anyway we know how. So big thanks to those guys, Stadium Scene, Showtime Productions, the whole deal. Just a lot of fun.
Yes, thank you. Alrighty, and that will conclude Season 1 of the Bottom Split Racing Series. If DJ or Eric pop in here real quick, then maybe they can say a few words, but if not, then that's alright. It was a great season, but hey, the action doesn't stop here. Tomorrow night at 10 p.m. Eastern, we have the Indy Racing World Series. The Indy Racing World Series is always fun. You have the Indy cars going around Las Vegas. And then right after that, Wednesday night, you have the Wednesday Night Dash Xfinity season schedule. Taking on the Charlotte Roval. It's going to be a triple header, so make sure you have your notifications set. But that will do it here tonight. Me signing off for the final time. I hope you all have a good one, and I will catch you all later. See ya.